personally, and I think this is true for a lot of people, I bought things that reminded me of whether I was in high school or whether I had my first job doing pots and pans. You might buy the jukebox and they're cool to watch the Mechs go back and forth, but when you press J1, that song means something to me. People are, I think they're buying memories. My name's Bob Trainoff. I'm one of the co-owners of the Chicagoland Jukebox Show. It's been going on for about 32 years, and we've been the owners for about 10 and a half years. It's a very unusual show, and I tell a lot of my friends to come out, and a lot of my friends have come out once, and they've come back again and again and again. I always get pumped about it because you never know what's going to show up at the show. One time you'll go in the parking lot and there's a merry-go-round going around. This might be a little morbid, but I saw a horse-drawn hearse from Germany, and it had beautiful etched glass on it, and it was a piece of art from 1880s, 1890s. A lot of coin-op, whether it be coin-op popcorn machines, coin-op Coke machines, soda machines, old gas pumps, barber chairs, barber poles, the jukeboxes. That's what really got me going in it. Pinball machines have become very popular all of a sudden. Pinballs are fun, so older folk can relate to that. This is a show to come to find the thing that it might take you 15 or 16 antique flea markets to find one in poor condition. And if you really want it, you can come here and you might find 2 or 3 or 4 of them. It's a blast just seeing what's coming this show. A friend of mine, my co-owner, he told me that show's being for sale, and a fellow was doing it 20 years. They started it from scratch, and it's grown and grown and grown. And I took a pass on it because it was a little risky. We had to go get a home equity loan and risk your house to buy a show. So I originally took a pass on it, and then he contacted me a few months later, and I pulled the plug, and both of us put our homes on the line, and it worked out amazing. One of the best things that ever happened, really. I thank my partner Kevin for inviting me to get involved in this, because I'd be kicking myself if I didn't. But I got involved in it probably when I was 8 or 10 years old, when I was around all this stuff. We'd go to a Chinese laundromat and we'd go put a dime in the popcorn machine and you get a bag of stale popcorn, sometimes with the worms in it, and you just eat it. We'd go to a candy machine and put a nickel in and we get this rotten cheese and crackers that might have had bugs in it. My whole basement is done up with the things that I remembered. So I guess I'm buying my memories back one game at a time, or I'm having a blast though. It wasn't all that long ago, in the heyday, they were all over the country, and about time you got through making the loop, 6 months were up and it was time to start all over again. This show has survived. I'm almost sure it's the only one left of the coin-op shows. It was the first and it's the only existing one. I always hated when people say the best hamburger in the world, because there's 1,000 best hamburgers, the best pickle, but this truly is the largest show of its kind in the world. More than 99% of the dealers here are great, great, great people. I might as well say 100, but it's a family. It's a huge family. And I'm surprised a lot of the younger kids would get into this, but all my son's friends come over, and I thought, well, they're not going to like the 4 or 5 jukeboxes I have. They're not going to like the 3 pinball games. And either they're making a mockery of it, but they love it. They really do love it, especially pinball games now. They call them antiques, which makes me feel old. That pinball's only 20 years old and you're calling it an antique? Well, what are you calling me? We've got approximately 310 booths in the large building, and my wife knows the answers to all these. Maybe 105 in the little smaller building. And this particular show, we had a waiting list of dealers. We had some aisles narrowed in the small building, and we created 6 new booths. The demand is there, and I'm seeing new faces. You get to remember just faces in general, and I'm seeing faces I've never seen here before. This show is popular because it's centrally located. If you had to drive from coast to coast, you might not be coming. Because it was the first show, and because it is centrally located, we've got a lot going for it. But there are so many coin-op companies in Chicago. Anything coin-operated, it just seems that their roots were in Chicago. What I do like about this is I get to see what's coming in. Whether I'm gonna buy it or anything, I just get a kick out of the craftsmanship of a lot of this stuff. So I like to see the people I've made friends with, and I like to see smiles on kids' faces. And it's still fun for me though. I've never gotten tired of it. And when I see my son and his friends downstairs, I get a resurgence again to re-love it, to get into it again, to see the smile on their faces.